So one of my all-time favorite gigs was being the voice of the WB, where I got to say such cool things as, coming up next, the Wayans Brothers. For those of you who are too young to remember, or too old, or just don't care, the WB was a television network. At the time, there was NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox, and there were two competing companies, Warner Brothers and Paramount, who both wanted to put together a new network. Warner Brothers put together the WB. Paramount did the United Paramount Network, and the WB had this cool little logo of Michigan J. Frog and the classic WB, letters. And UPN had this kind of weird shapes, and it always sounded to me like it was a chemical company. UPN, where you can watch Star Trek and we bring you styrofoam. It was just a weird name. I'm sorry, it just was. Meanwhile, the WB was doing sitcoms, and they had shows like the Jamie Foxx Show, the Steve Harvey Show. Jason Bateman had a show called Simon. Robert Townsend had a show called The Parenthood. They had the Wayans Brothers, and it was just really kind of a fun place to be. And then later they branched out, and then they had Seventh Heaven, and they also had a show called Savannah. And when they got these other shows, then they got other voices to do Savannah promos. They had this one guy whose voice was so deep, and he would go out drinking all night, and he'd come in and his voice would sound even better, and he would just go, Savannah. And it was like, oh my God, that guy's amazing. He's going amazing. But he was the most unhealthy guy that I've ever met. But I would go into the Warner Brothers Ranch every day, and they would have all these promos for me. And I must have read thousands of these promos, because over the years you do 4 or 5 promos for each show.
Sunday on Sister Sister.
On an all-new Wayans.
Jamie Foxx is chillin'.
On an all-new Steve Harvey.
Sunday on an all-new Unhappily.
Sean and Marlon's Boyhood Home. For sale?
Ray scores a date. Will the girls make him strike out? All right already, after an all-new Unhappily. Sunday on the WB.
And they have all of this stuff, and you have to time it out to the exact frame. There are 30 frames in every second of television, and they were giving me directions like, oh yeah, you need to cut it down by 3 frames. After doing this for many, many years, I was able to do that. It was really, really fun. It got to the point where I was loving this job so much that when I got the on-camera job for JAG, where I was a series regular on a network show, I still wanted to keep the job over at the WB. I loved it that much. The money was great, but I was on a TV show. It was because I loved it. So I built this box, and I put all of this equipment in it. Nowadays, you can do it on your phone. But back in the day, it took this box. I called it the box of money because it cost a lot of money to build this box. And I would take this box with me to the set. And when I would have my lunch hour, I would record more promos from the JAG set, and we'd plug into ISDN lines for all you techies, you know what I mean. But yeah, that was the WB. I was really sad to see when that network ended. They changed into the CW. It was just a kind of an era where it was a real great job that I really, really loved. And I just wanted to share that with you. And so that's doing the voice of the WB.